What's up, visionaries?
What's good?
Welcome to another episode of Visions of Love and Relationships. I'm Tonya and I'm joined by my wonderful husband.
Come on.
And we hope you're doing well as usual.
As usual.
Hold up, before we get into this, I hope that you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the like button along the way. And share it as well, because Lamont and I, for those of you who are new to the channel, we are on a mission to help save some marriages, create healthy marriages and relationships, and it's gonna start with one.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we right back at you.
Yeah, we got us a deep one.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about something that many couples feel, but often struggle to articulate. That is reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
You know, that give and take, that balance, that love and flow inside the relationship that's needed for a healthy relationship.
Yeah, quick question. Have you ever felt like you were the only one in your relationship fighting for that relationship? Like you're the only one that's constantly doing the check-ins, doing the emotional labor, planning the date nights, initiating the conversations, and your partner, well, on the other hand, they just receive.
That becomes emotionally draining.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it wears on your spirit, because love without reciprocity starts to feel like an obligation. And over time, those obligations turn to what? Resentment. Mm-hmm. And that's when two people start drifting apart. One partner or both partners start emotionally checking out. And then you start becoming roommates.
Yeah.
Living up under the same roof.
Yeah, you don't want love to feel like a job and work.
Yeah.
No, you need 3 jobs, 2 jobs. Okay, so.
And that happens when a relationship is out of balance.
Yeah, it does. Now, reciprocity, let's not get it twisted. It's not just about who's washing the dishes or who's paying the bills. It's about, again, emotional balance. It's about, are we both pouring into this relationship?
And emotional balance in a relationship is the main thing, the main glue that holds the relationship together. It's the emotional side of the relationship. I know some men say, well, don't be all emotional, but the emotional labor of thinking of things, holding the burden of things, is the thing that really starts to drain on the person in a relationship if they're the one carrying the grunt of the work.
Yeah. It's also about, are we both making space to see, hear, and value each other?
Yep. Now let's talk about emotional balances. What happens when those balances are out of whack and they break down? Sometimes they happen because childhood stuff. We were raised watching our parents or our even caregivers overgive or even shut down. Sometimes it can be unspoken or unmet expectations. I thought you needed help. And sometimes we don't know, we don't even ask for help because we don't want to feel needy when we ask for help. All those things can create an imbalance in the relationship.
Yeah, and let's be honest, we all got patterns. Some of us tend to overfunction. We do too much fixing and rescuing, while others of us underfunction. We withdraw, avoid, staying emotionally available. And guess what? Those type of patterns don't just show up out of nowhere.
No, they don't.
They tied to something deeper. It's always a root.
Yep. And that root could be rooted in fear.
It could be fear that if I start giving more, I'll lose my own independence or I'll get hurt.
Yep. And those are things that will prevent us from giving us all in the relationship or giving too much in the relationship.
Yeah.
That's why balance is so important.
Yeah.
It helps the relationship.
And not only does it help the relationship work, the balance doesn't just happen. We gotta work, right?
We gotta
do that work to make it work.
You gotta be intentional about it, because if you're not intentional about creating the balance, creating the reciprocity in your relationship, then you're going to unintentionally attract a relationship that you do not want. You don't have to do nothing and watch what happens in your relationship. If you can see anybody that do not put work and start working on a relationship, I ain't talking about the basic things that people do in a relationship, probably the same thing that you do for your kids besides the physical side of it. But the other stuff that goes into running a healthy relationship, if you're not intentional about it, then you're going to unintentionally attract an unhealthy relationship.
Yeah. So let's understand reciprocity. Reciprocity is about the mutual give and take in a relationship that feels fair to both partners. Yeah. It's about providing emotional support to each other, being there doing good times, and being able to stand the rain. So, question: can you stand the rain?
Yeah, okay. Many times people can be they're ready. All is a good time, but when they're bad time, that's when things fall apart, and you're not extending the grace and the support that maybe your partner extended to you. Yeah, that's when you become a runner. You attract star. Okay, but it's also about shared responsibility. Both partners need to contribute to maintaining the relationship equally. Yep. So that means if I'm washing dishes, maybe you cooking. Yep. If I'm cooking, maybe you washing dishes. Right. If I'm outside doing yard work, maybe you in the house cleaning up. Yeah. If I figure out what we eat for dinner today, maybe you can do it tomorrow. Yeah. Or maybe if you figure it out, I cook it. You cook it. Yeah. There's always got to be balance, and at the end of the week, we want to make sure that our relationship is balanced out. If I go a week without the relationship being balanced, and then we got 1 week, 2 weeks, and all of a sudden at the end of the month, now we got an imbalanced month. You're gonna have always got to work harder to catch up once you're behind. Yeah. You can never get back. Like I say, only person that can redeem time is God. But us ourselves, if we don't do it when the time is to be done, then we got to work harder to catch back up to make sure the bank account is equal, and we're not overdrawn. So we always want to be reciprocating in our relationship, putting reciprocity in our relationship, because it's the foundation of a healthy, balanced relationship. As you can see this picture, yes, both people are giving. Yeah. So pause for a moment, take a look at the picture. They both giving. Both people are giving. Reciprocity in a relationship. All right. So signs of imbalance in the relationship. One-sided effort. Yeah. When you are always the one initiating that contact, making plans, or resolving conflict in a relationship, that's a sign of imbalance. Emotional drain. If you consistently feel depleted and drained after interactions rather than energized, that's another red flag. Yeah. Listen, if you're in a relationship where you feel depleted, down, or drained, every time that's not a good relationship. That's unhealthy. So don't go on and get married if you dating and you already feeling drained. What you think gonna happen when you get married? Things don't get better. No, they don't. If you're not intentional about it. But if you're intentional, things can get better. They can. But most people, they're not intentional about it. They get in a relationship with the same pattern, the same mindset, and they expect things to get better. It just don't work like that. Yeah, I'm gonna say if you're dating and you feeling drained and you red flag, go, red flag on the play. All right, and also unmet needs. When your core emotional, physical, and social needs are consistently overlooked and dismissed, the relationship is likely out of balance. You got to have balance. Yep. And go ahead, babe. No, go ahead. Okay. Was you gonna speak on unmet needs? No, go ahead. Okay. So then you got the old tit for tat, the scorekeeping. That's one of the things that, man, closely tracking favors. Like, I did that for you yesterday. You can't do this for me. Closely tracking support. Like, I always do something for you. You don't support me. Man. Or effort you give versus what you receive. That's a sign that the relationship isn't equitable. So everything needs to be balanced to have a healthy
relationship.
To have a
Period.
growing relationship.
Yes, period, boo.
Because if you want to keep it in balance and you want to keep reciprocity out of your relationship, then you're going to have an unhealthy relationship.
Then let's discuss some of the types of imbalance. You got the giver in the relationship
and the taker.
And the taker. The giver is somebody who always puts out first. You know, put that back. I got it. But you got difficulty receiving help. When somebody else want to help you, no, I got it. And you feel responsible for others' happiness and you fear being seen as selfish.
Yeah. It's an imbalance.
Yeah.
And that will hurt your relationship, and that will ultimately leave you feeling drained and depleted.
Yeah. And then the taker expects others to meet their needs. They got limited awareness of others' feelings. They don't give. They feel entitled to support you. You gonna support me? I mean, because I'm me.
That's a lot. That's the whole lot of this new generation out here. You know what I'm saying? We got the tit for tat, and we got the people that feel like they're entitled to support,
regardless of the situation.
Regardless, yeah.
I'm me. Me. And they struggle with gratitude. Yeah. They can't never show you that they appreciate what you did for them.
Or what you doing for them.
It's just like you're supposed to do that. I'm your man. Or I'm your woman. You're supposed to do that. It's given. You don't get no award for that.
Yeah.
Trophies.
That's imbalance.
It's
unhealthy.
Yes, it is.
And these two types articulate common patterns that can lead to unhealthy relationship dynamics. And that's why it's so important to strive for balance and mutual understanding.
Yeah. As we discuss these types now, think about how you may have experienced them in your own relationship. Recognize the tendencies that can help us work towards more fulfilling, reciprocal connections.
Yeah.
That's a goal.
Yeah, that is the ultimate goal.
Yeah, we got to find balance.
And what key elements of finding balance in your relationship? And as always, number one, you got to be aware of it. Self-awareness. Self-awareness, which is understanding our patterns and our needs when we're interacting with others. How do we show up? What patterns that keep showing up when we interact with people? Not what other people do, but when we interact with people. Because there's always something that we do, even though people got things that they do, but we got to recognize ourselves. We got to take the speck out of our eye before we can take the speck out of somebody else's eye. Yeah. So number one, self-awareness is the first key to finding balance in your relationship.
Yeah, the second of the four key elements in finding balance in your relationship is clear communication. And we talk about this so much that we actually wrote the book on it. So make sure you copy the book. All right, we'll put it in the description. All right. Yeah. Clear communication, expressing our needs and boundaries in a constructive way, though. We don't want to blame the other side.
Anytime blaming is inside the relationship, we're trying to get our needs met.
Yeah, and then that leads to that tit for tat too. Like, yeah. I mean, but what about you? What did you do? You never talk about what you did.
That's why you need to have clear communication. Express your needs and boundaries in a constructive, clear, honest way.
Yeah, and the third key element is healthy boundaries. Yeah. Balancing, caring for ourselves and caring for others, because we can't care for ourselves if we don't care for others. We can't care for others if we don't care for ourselves.
We don't want to do too much. It
has to be balanced.
That we're not, if we're not getting that in return.
Right. Absolutely. And the fourth element is mutual growth. Everybody growing. We're supporting each other's independence and personal development. And these elements work together to help us achieve greater balance and fulfillment in our relationship. Yeah.
Healthy reciprocity. Healthy reciprocity is a cycle.
Yeah.
And it's a framework for building a strong, beneficial relationship. Yeah. So the opposite goes to effect.
There's 4 key steps.
Yeah.
The number one step is giving. Offer support to others without expecting nothing in return.
Sometimes this can be hard for some people because they always want to say, well, if I give you something, I want something in return. Sometimes you got to give knowing that you're not going to get nothing in return. But we don't want to do that too much. Well, like we said, you overdraw.
Yeah. You want to be balanced. So that brings us to receiving. Graciously accepting help and support for others. You got to know how to receive just like you got to know how to give. Because some people let their pride get in the way and they don't know how to receive.
Yeah. Pride comes before the fall.
Yeah. So know how to receive. Also, appreciation. That's going to be our third step. And that's, simply expressing genuine gratitude. Genuine. It's hard to find these days. Express genuine gratitude and recognition for the support you received.
Yeah. Because people didn't have to do that.
No.
They doing it out the kindness of their heart.
No matter how small.
Yeah.
Appreciate if somebody doing something for you.
Yeah.
If somebody doing something for others, you gotta
appreciate that too, because eventually you can have your turn and you will want them to appreciate you and not hate on you. So don't hate on nobody when they're, or don't be ungrateful when somebody's trying to give something to you or do something for you. Receive the help, receive the support, and pay it forward if you got to.
Yeah. So reciprocate. That's the next thing. That's the next step, actually. Reciprocate. Find meaningful ways to return the support and pay it forward. And Lamont and I are really good with reciprocating. Yeah. We do school drives. We do Christmas. Yeah. We give away toys and we give away things, bikes and everything. But we do it from the kindness of our heart because we're blessed. Yeah. So we're blessed to reciprocate. So we do.
Yep. And that's just as far as us giving. That's not to mention in our relationship. Yeah. Me and my wife.
Oh yeah.
We thrive for outdoing each other as far as giving and receiving.
Yeah. But it's a balance thing.
Yeah.
It's balance. It's a good, healthy way of
Yeah.
It's a healthy game, I say. I'm gonna call it a football game.
Who can outdo each other in giving and showing love and support on a daily basis. And you got to show up daily, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, the devil is coming right in here and to get in there and get inside that relationship and take it down.
Yeah.
You ain't got to do nothing. If you take your foot off the gas, best believe destruction and unhealthiness can easily creep up in there before you even know.
Yeah.
You ain't even gonna know what hit you, and all of a sudden y'all bickering and arguing, then y'all going down a path that's so hard to come back from if you don't have the right skills. And if you're not aware of it, and not only that, if you're not aware, if you don't face it. Sometimes you could be aware of it, but you don't face it, so you run from it, you brush up on the road, hoping that time will make things get better. But time does not change things. It only just makes time go. No. You got to change it. If you want change, you must be the change you seek in your relationship. If you want change, you must be the change you seek. Because if nothing changes, nothing will change.
Each step in the cycle reinforces the others. Create a positive feedback loop of mutual care and support.
Yeah.
Mastering the cycle will help you build trust, deepen that connection, and create a culture of generosity and collaboration, because it's needed.
Difficult conversations.
We got to have the difficult conversations.
Yeah, we do.
Difficult conversations, we know they're hard, we know they're challenging, but they're important for resolving conflicts and also to strengthen the relationship.
And sometimes one honest, heartfelt conversation can really shift the whole dynamics of the relationship. Mm-hmm. Let's say you realize your relationship is out of balance. What do you do now? Number one, first and foremost, you always got to be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves first, and let's be honest with our partner.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, you got to ask yourself questions.
Yeah. Ask yourself, what do I need that I'm not getting? What am I giving that's going unnoticed or unreturned? You can also ask yourself, what am I doing out of fear instead of love? Now, you can also reflect on these questions with your partner. But without shame, without blame, discuss these questions. Yeah, and definitely without criticism.
Yep.
Yes.
Give it to them again.
Yes. You want to ask yourself, what do I need that I'm not getting? You can ask yourself, what am I giving that's going unnoticed or unreturned? You can also ask, what am I doing out of fear instead of love? Yeah. Get you a piece of pencil, a paper and a pencil. Grab your partner, and you both write these down and discuss the outcome. Create that safe space to where y'all can do this again without any criticism, blame, shame, none of that. Just a safe space for y'all to discuss.
Yeah, open conversation, open, honest conversations builds the bridge of connection and deepens the foundation of love in your relationship.
Mm-hmm. And come from a place of vulnerability.
Yeah, but a place of vulnerability.
Put yourself on that pedestal. Yeah. Don't be grandiose. And have your partner down here, you up here. Mm-hmm. No shame, no blame. All right.
All right. So I want to talk to the fellas for a little bit, man.
Talk to them, man.
If we see our woman tired and feels like she's shutting down, mm-hmm. we can't take it personal. We got to ask ourselves first: have I been showing up in my relationship? Have I been emotionally meeting my woman's needs? Have I been playing my part? Or am I just paying the bills? We got to be present. We got to be consistent. We got to create the safety for our woman to feel loved, seen, and that we handling our business as a man.
Yeah, because most women can pay the bills. That's not what women looking for. I mean, that helps. Don't get me wrong, but the women today, they can be like, I can pay my own bills. Yeah. But if you present, that's a whole nother.
What else can you do besides paying the bill?
Especially most.
We did a pop little reaction. The dude said, he said, what else can you do besides cooking, cleaning, and things? And I don't think she said something with the dude. Mm-hmm. She asked the same thing. Yeah. He said, what else can you do besides paying the bills and all this? And they both said the same thing, but we got to realize there's more to relationships than the man paying the bills
and being a protector.
And being a protector or provider. There's a whole lot. If both people do that, then what else do you offer? If both the man and the woman work in a relationship, then what else do you offer? So that's why we got to realize we can't put ourselves to one position in a relationship. We try to master that. We forget everything else. Mm-hmm. The name of the game is keep growing, keep habit stacking the skills that we need to become better people as man and as woman.
Mm-hmm. And ladies, I see you too. If you've been carrying it all, the emotions, the planning, the check-ins, sis, you're not crazy for wanting balance. You're not asking for too much. You're asking for reciprocity. Yeah. And that's your right.
Yeah,
it's your right in a healthy relationship.
Yeah. If you want a healthy relationship, you got the right to want that.
Yeah.
But if you don't, then keep on doing what you're doing. Like I said, you will unintentionally attract an unhealthy relationship. No doubt about it.
Your relationship journey should reflect a sense of hope, connection, and the beauty that comes from relationships. Here's a 3 key principles. Mm-hmm. Number 1,
you're worth it.
You're worth. You deserve fulfilling relationships. Yeah. Number 2, it takes two.
It takes two.
Both people gotta participate to create. Yeah. It takes two, baby. Okay, most people, both people gotta participate and create balance. Yeah. It takes two.
Gotta be intentional.
Yeah. Yeah. Endless growth potential is number 3. Reciprocity leads to deeper connection.
Yeah. Because I feel that I'm giving and I'm receiving an equal portion. Equally. And I'm not overdrawn. I'm not emotionally overstretched inside a relationship. And when that's in place and reciprocity in place, then you can actually start the foundation to grow your relationship up.
Yeah, I really believe when people stop playing house, like we're not kids no more, and childhood things do come up in grown people relationships. Most people playing house, they're not really in it for what it is. Like a marriage is work. Yeah. A strong relationship is work.
Because a relationship supposed to lead to marriage, but when you don't do it right, and maybe you don't know what you want in society that dictated what you want, then you're not going to treat it as such. Yeah. You're going to treat it with the bare minimum effort, but yet want the best results that you can get. Right. But you're not putting in effort. But a healthy relationship, you got to be intentional about it.
Yeah, and I suggest if you really don't know what you want, work on yourself some more. Yeah. Keep working on yourself, because once you whole, you gonna know what you want.
Yeah. And sometimes you gotta ask. Sometimes most people haven't even asked themselves what I want. They know what they don't want, but you don't know actually what you want. And that's a question. That's a twofold question. You gotta know what you don't want, and you gotta know what you want, so you can receive it. Because you can, if you don't know what you want, then what you see something. You're like, well, I don't want that, but you don't know what you want.
Yeah,
So this might be what you want, but you don't know.
Right.
I just know I don't want that.
Right. We do the homework on like going out to eat and stuff. Yeah. We know what we want, even if we got to look at the menu before we get there. We know what we gonna order. Yeah. We know what we like. We know what we don't like. You gotta put that
same energy.
You gotta put that energy into picker. Being a picker, a good picker. Put that into, dating, because it starts at dating.
Yeah, and then when, like I said, the most important thing when you get in a healthy relationship, then you really got to be intentional about that.
Yeah. So the overall message is that relationships have immense value and potential when approached with the right mindset. Yeah. The mind got to be right, okay?
The vision got to be in front. Yeah. What's your vision for this relationship? If you just want to be friends, or you just want to see where it go, how long are you going to see? To clear the vision, and the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. To clear the vision, the quickly you can see that this vision is not, things are not going where I want to be.
Mm-hmm. And if you are, in that relationship that you, or marriage, serious relationship that you want to last, but you already having conflict, I encourage you to visit Lovers Coaching or lovercoaching.com/love. We got our course out here that we designed because we're 20 years in, happily married. We've been through and we've came out and we're still growing. We've been through a lot of seasons together. We know what it takes. Okay. So again, visit lovercoaching.com/love and get into this mini course.
Yeah. And the mini course is going to give you the foundation, give you a new perspective on how you can look at your relationship as an opportunity for growth. Yeah. How you can look at conflict as an opportunity for growth. How you can set the right foundation for your relationship to grow.
Yep. And if you want to have friends and you watching this and you going through with your significant other, don't be ashamed. Yeah. Don't be too close to smell to us because you think you know us.
Yeah, because everybody different. And you never know what people until you get to know people.
Right. And you probably do know us, but you knew the young version of us. You don't know what we've been doing out here, and what we've been going through, what we study, what we're going through, what we've been through, what we put out, what we put together. It'll help everybody. So just don't be too close. God don't put, you never know. Yeah. But again, if you just talking again, if you're going through, head to loverscoaching.com, lovercoaching.com. That'll be somewhere in the comments or in the description, wherever you see this video.
And let us know your thoughts in the comment section. If you got value, let us know. If we could have went deeper, we could have went zigzag. Or let us know.
If there's a topic you want to hear, let us know
in the comment section. Like this video, share this video with your people or with somebody who you feel that could use this information that we're putting out here. And we hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. Like I said, we learned a lot. Every time even though we go through this stuff, but it's always repetition is the mother of all learning. So it's always good to refresh and learn. And like I said, we grow and we connect anytime we're just doing this video with you guys. And we build our connection. And we hope that we can help you build your connection deep and create a healthy relationship.
I want about the land of one. And look, go ahead, baby.
I just hope that we can help you build that healthy relationship that we know you deserve, that we know you can do it with the right tools and the right mindset and a switch of them patterns, man. We can help you do that.
And the right coach.
Right coach, yeah.
And that's part of the tool bag. But look at the happy couple. They walking off in the sunset. Somebody got vision. And together, they're going to build the life that they love. So go build. Go build. We'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
Tonya and Lamont, we're in the limelight, sharing stories on our podcast every night, spreading love and soul, our words take flight, talking about love, we keep it real and raw, through the ups and downs, we stand tall, our voices blend like a sweet harmony. Touching hearts, creating unity. Dive deep into emotions, no filter inside. Tonya's honesty, Lamont's soulful insight. Exploring love's highs and lows. It's our mission, connecting souls to heartfelt.